This week's Off The Script is brought to you by WrestleRumble.com. The WWE Extreme Rules Pick'em Challenge is now open, man. Up until the pay-per-view that goes live this Sunday on the WWE Network. Put your knowledge to the test and guess the winners in every scenario this Sunday at Extreme Rules. How to enter? It's very simple. Go to www.WrestleRumble.com. Enter the entry pool and you will be emailed several questions. From there, you're going to pick the winners and every scenario that you think will happen this Sunday at the pay-per-view, and you could win $400 cash top prize. Once again, go to www.WrestleRumble.com. Have some fun with it, and I'll see you guys at Extreme Rules this Sunday. You know, I'm looking into the camera on my computer screen right now, and I always get the comment, JD, you look like Rusev. JD, you look like Damien Sandow. I don't see the resemblance, man. I really don't. I don't know where you guys see the resemblance, but I guess I'll take it as a compliment, man. Really, I will take that as a compliment. But regardless, this is Off The Script, episode number 62. Part number 2 for your Saturday morning. Thank you for joining me. This is without question the number one source for WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. And this week has been very, very slow for news, people. Very, very slow. All right, we're going into Extreme Rules. There hasn't been much hype behind the pay-per-view. It's very lackluster. You know, you look at it up and down on paper. There's not really anything that stands out as must-see. You know, this typically happens after WrestleMania. WWE goes into pretty much autopilot. They don't book feuds accordingly. There's no thought behind them. It just, you know, it's just pretty much thrown together. Or, you know, a lot of these matches are just WrestleMania rematches. Typically, that's what Extreme Rules is. WrestleMania rematches with stipulations. That's all it pretty much is. But anyway, I do have several pieces of news for you. I did manage to get some pieces of information for you that you guys might find interesting. I got news on Daniel Bryan. Will he be at Extreme Rules this Sunday to defend the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Wade Barrett? I got news on that. I got news on Ring of Honor, Jay Briscoe and the Briscoe brothers, you know, re-signing with Ring of Honor. Why didn't WWE go ahead and make a serious push for the Briscoe brothers in Ring of Honor? I got news on that as well, and I got news on Samoa Joe. Will he be debuting with the WWE in June? And did he meet with Triple H recently? I got all the news behind that. But before I get into that, guys, quickly, if you guys missed Off The Script yesterday, part 1, link is in the description down below. Go and check it out. I do talk in depth about the curb stomp, Seth Rollins not being banned by the WWE, and I give you guys my full opinion on that situation developing in the WWE right now this week. And also, if you guys missed last night, I did post another WWE 2K16 news, rumors, leaks, and information video. All the latest up-to-date information regarding the release of WWE's next highly anticipated video game. That description, or that link will be down in the description as well of this video if you guys missed that. If you're not following me on social media, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook, and if you're not subscribed, I don't know what the fuck you are waiting for, man. Hit that subscribe button for the number one source in all WWE right here on YouTube.com, motherfucker. Now, Daniel Bryan news, man. We're going to start off with Daniel Bryan. WWE claims that Daniel Bryan is undergoing testing to see if he can compete at WWE Extreme Rules on April 26th. As previously noted, the WWE Intercontinental Champion is supposed to face Bad News Barrett at the pay-per-view event. However, if he does not pass impact and diagnostic tests, Bryan will not be competing at Extreme Rules. During the April 20th edition of Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole and JBL both acknowledged that Bryan's IC Championship match with Barrett is in question currently. As I said, Bryan is banged up. It was recently reported and confirmed by WWE that Bryan was removed from active competition during the WWE European Tour between April 14th and April 19th. The reason he was pulled from in-ring action was initially said to be due to his body breaking down, similar to the way it was in 2014, with his neck being the biggest issue. Then it was said that he suffered a concussion, which was later dismissed. That was debunked. PWInsider.com reports that Bryan was injured during a six-man tag match during a WWE live event at the beginning of the tour, and that WWE officials initially claimed that he would be out of action for at least a month, which is what started the speculation of whether or not Bryan suffered a concussion during the match. Bryan said that in a recent interview that he's merely feeling the weight of every move done in the ring. That you never know how your body will react to surgeries until you get back in the ring and go full force, and that whether it's because his body wasn't fully ready or if he's just getting old. He's more banged up than okay, and that he's feeling the brunt of all the high impact moves he does in the ring more and more intensely, okay? So Bryan, the more and more he goes out there, the more and more he goes out there and performs his own moves, and he takes moves. He says he's feeling it more so now than ever, especially after surgery. That is not a good sign, okay? In a new description of the currently advertised Intercontinental Championship match for Extreme Rules, WWE claims that Bryan is undergoing testing and may not be able to work the pay-per-view. It reads, and I quote, Daniel Bryan rose above 6 other superstars to capture his first Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match at WrestleMania. However, if the ever-popular Yes Man hopes to hold on to the title, he'll have to get past the superstar who lost the championship that day. Bad news Barrett at Extreme Rules. Bryan is undergoing diagnostic testing to see if he can defend his title at Extreme Rules. I don't know anything as of this writing, as of this report about Daniel Bryan. I honestly don't think there will be an IC title match. I honestly don't think there should be an IC title match. If WWE believes in Bryan, they would hold out to see what the diagnostic tests say, how long he will be out, etc., etc. You know, I don't understand Bryan getting back in the ring so soon. I understand it from a business standpoint, and I understand it from his standpoint. He loves doing what he's doing. He wants to get back out there. He wants to entertain the fans. He wants to do what he loves to do. That's fucking admirable as fuck for Daniel Bryan, okay? But if his body is not fully ready, I don't know why you have to push yourself if you're not ready. I really don't understand. I'm not Daniel Bryan. He's the only one who knows if he can go or not. But WWE right now has the choice in their hands, and they have to make it smartly and wisely, all right? Do you put Bryan out there when he's banged up? No. I don't think Bryan's going to go out there regardless whether he's champion or not. Do they take the title off of him? I don't know. WWE has had a plan for the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title to be built up simultaneously with both Bryan and John Cena respectively. I hope that is continuing to be the case. I hope that is still the case after Extreme Rules. I hope Bryan ends up being okay. I hope he's not really that banged up and all these reports are just fabricated and making everything more serious than it really is. I just hope that is the case. But with WWE and this concussion thing and them, banning the curb stomp temporarily, it's not really banned. Seth Rollins is going to continue to use the curb stomp, but he's going to be using it more impactfully when it really matters, okay? Bryan, if it's his neck, obviously he's not going to be wrestling. If it's his elbow, I don't know, man. He might have to opt for surgery because that was the last thing we heard about Bryan, that he needed Tommy John surgery, and that's going to take 3 or 4 months to heal in itself. If it's anything else, if it's concussion, obviously they're going to keep Bryan out until he passes all the impact tests possible that WWE offers to their superstars when a concussion arises. But as far as the match at Extreme Rules, I don't think Bryan is going to be there. It's going to suck not seeing Bryan. He is the hottest guy on the roster regardless of who the champion is. No matter if it's John Cena, no matter if it's Roman Reigns, Bryan has always been number one. He's always been the most cheered individual, the most cheered wrestler on the roster every time he goes out there on pay-per-view and on Monday Night Raw. And the Yes Movement has not let anyone down, man. The steam of the Yes Movement has not let up. It's always been ever so popular, all right? But I think WWE needs to make a decision here and keep him out and see where this goes. And, I don't really believe the string of bad luck that Bryan has had. If you think back to Bryan, he won the title at WrestleMania 30. They gave him the spotlight. They gave him the honor of winning the title. He beat Evolution in one night. He beat Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista in one night. They made him look like a fucking superhero. And then he goes on a honeymoon with Brie. and he's living life. He's the fucking luckiest man in the world. He's got WWE Championship gold around his waist. He married the love of his life, and he gets back from the honeymoon. His father passes away. He gets back from the honeymoon. He's got to forfeit the title because he's got to go for surgery. He's going to be out for 9 months. Connor the Crusher passed away. So Bryan has had a string of bad luck in 2 consecutive years, both in April. And I just hope for Daniel Bryan's well-being that he's okay. I hope for the fans of the WWE, Daniel Bryan is all right. We don't want to see Daniel Bryan not on television, man. He's a very special wrestler. He's a very special superstar. And I hope that he has a lot left in the tank to give the WWE audience. And I hope all these reports, like I said previously, are just fabricating and really amping the story up to be more than what it is. I hope Bryan is okay. And hopefully WWE lets everyone know what is the situation going on with Daniel Bryan, when he's gonna come back, if he's gonna defend the title, if they're gonna take the title off of him, what the status is. Hopefully WWE sooner than later tells us what's going on with Mr. Daniel Bryan. All right, now news on Brock Lesnar, guys. Brock Lesnar will definitely make more money on his merchandise under his new multi-year deal with WWE, even though Vince McMahon did not cave on offering Lesnar a merchandise guarantee. A source close to the negotiation notes that in Lesnar's previous deal, he had bonuses that would begin if he sold a certain amount of merchandise. WWE really didn't market Lesnar's merchandise enough to give him a good shot at reaching those bonuses. This led to a major issue in Vince and Brock's contract talks, as Lesnar reportedly felt he was being sabotaged intentionally. The new deal Lesnar has pays more and basically guarantees the money that was previously being offered as bonuses. It was noted a few months back that neither Vince or Brock wanted to budge on certain points, and this new deal looks to be a way for both sides to save face, while Brock will definitely be earning more money. If WWE decides to really push Lesnar's merchandise, which I believe they should and they will, being that he will be a huge babyface upon returning, they still have to pay his higher royalties, but the bonuses mentioned before will not kick in, as they are not included in his deal due to the high salary that he is receiving. Brock Lesnar will be huge upon returning. He will be a massive babyface upon returning. He will sell merchandise upon returning, if not already. You know, Brock Lesnar left a very, very lasting impression on his way out the door until he makes his eventual return at SummerSlam. What he did on Monday Night Raw to Michael Cole, and you know, the way they ushered him out and the way they made him look, man, it was fucking brilliant on WWE's behalf, man. That's what we needed to see following WrestleMania. WWE really hasn't matched that intensity since Brock Lesnar left the roster for his mini vacation until he comes back at SummerSlam. But Lesnar will be a huge babyface upon returning. He is selling merchandise, and he will continue to sell even more merchandise when he's back on WWE TV regularly. So all in all, Brock Lesnar will be making more money than ever before with his new contract in the WWE, and deservedly so. All right, I know some of you guys are going to groan at that, but there is not another man on this planet that is Brock Lesnar, man. Brock Lesnar is a one-of-a-kind athlete, and give him his fucking props, man. He is just a legit animal, and there's only one Brock Lesnar. Some were confused by WWE not signing Jay and Mark Briscoe, as was I. Even though I'm not too familiar with Ring of Honor and the work of Jay and Mark Briscoe, I do know who they are, though. I don't watch Ring of Honor, so sue me, okay? Even though I know you guys are saying, JD, you should be watching Ring of Honor, blah, 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 I know. But some were confused by WWE not signing Jay and Mark Briscoe, especially at a time when they seem intent on putting the screws to Ring of Honor, which WWE seems to be. Some people in Ring of Honor were fine with the promotion having to take a major investment into talents, especially at a time when finances are tight. WWE really blames Ring of Honor for the proliferation of non-WWE events that have sprung up each year during WrestleMania week, and so Ring of Honor is being specifically targeted when it comes to plans to use NXT as WWE's version of a super indie. WWE is on good terms with DG USA, Dragon Gate USA, as DG USA let guys out of their contract whenever WWE wanted them. WWE still plans to sign away several more Ring of Honor guys, but if Ring of Honor wants to overspend to keep any of them, WWE isn't going to match the offers. Another reason Ring of Honor has a bullseye on its chest is the fact that it's owned by a decently sized television company, so WWE views it as far more of a threat to NXT than other smaller groups like PWG and Evolve. So what this means, people, is that WWE sees Ring of Honor as a threat to NXT because they're owned by Sinclair Television, okay? And WWE is going to simply pluck when they choose and throw money at who they choose when the time is right to start offering guys contracts to, come on over to NXT. So that's what WWE is doing, man. They want to strip Ring of Honor. And you know what? Jim Ross said it best, man. Ring of Honor has nothing to be ashamed of. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, man, because if you go to Ring of Honor and you hone your skills and you develop a character in Ring of Honor, your ultimate goal is to go to WWE. So you look back on that if you're Ring of Honor. How many guys in WWE now have stepped foot in Ring of Honor and have succeeded there and have moved on to the grand stage and become huge in WWE? Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Seth Rollins now. Look at Seth Rollins is WWE champion, man. He was in Ring of Honor, right? Now look at him. He's the WWE champion. He's the number one guy in the company. If I'm Ring of Honor, I'm looking at that. I'm like, you know what? That's one of our guys. That's one of our alumni, man. He's the WWE champion. Ring of Honor should be proud of the operation that they run. They should be proud of the guys that have come in and left. And that's the breeding ground, man. That's where it all starts. Ring of Honor does things right when it's developing talent, man, and getting them ripe for WWE. I would take that as a fucking compliment, man. I would take that as, you know what? These were our alumni. Those are our guys. Those are our graduates. But WWE, on the other hand, I know you guys are thinking about it. It's kind of fucked up that they want to pluck here and there and pretty much make Ring of Honor non-existent because they're worried about Ring of Honor events popping up during WrestleMania weekend. They're threatened by Ring of Honor when it comes to NXT. So I understand WWE's business aspect of it, but like I said, if I was Ring of Honor, I would be proud that all my guys who have left and migrated to the WWE now are succeeding and achieving success over there. So you got to look at it that way. And Jim Ross always says that on his podcast, man. That's why I want you guys to start listening to Jim Ross. You learn a lot, and you just put things into perspective when you listen to someone with the mind and the creative genius of Jim Ross on the Ross Report, man. Go download that shit. Finally, guys, I'm going to have a Samoa Joe piece of news if I can find it here. There we go. According to reports to end this Saturday's edition of Off the Script, Samoa Joe may begin working with the WWE in June of 2015. As previously reported, Samoa Joe and WWE have been negotiating terms to bring Joe in and begin working for the company in some capacity. As previously reported, Chris Jericho recently claimed that negotiations between Joe and WWE were underway, though he couldn't reveal exactly what the deal was being proposed between both parties. Jericho claimed that Triple H had told him years back that he was really impressed by Samoa Joe and liked the style that he wrestles with. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter recently claimed that a jump to WWE was expected for Samoa Joe, saying, and I quote, "The belief is I don't know the whole thing or what the whole thing is, but there's a WWE component to it. He's going to be doing his indies, and there's going to be something with the WWE. Whether it's NXT, whether it's Monday Night Raw, the main roster, I've heard several different things talked about, and I don't know if anyone really knows at this point in time. I don't know if it's a signed contract. The point is, he is in theory WWE bound in some way, shape, or form, or at least attempting to be WWE bound or NXT bound, or something along those lines." He then goes on to say Joe should be starting for the WWE in June in the most recent edition of the newsletter, saying, "Regarding all kinds of rumors regarding Joe, the impression we have is that he's starting in June. I don't know if a contract is signed, and there are often delays with medicals and such that can always happen, but that's the last date that we heard." All right. Additionally, it is believed that Samoa Joe may appear for the NXT brand, as the style he uses in the ring best matches the style used by the superstars down in NXT. But that is yet to be seen. Samoa Joe was, and this is official, okay, Samoa Joe was spotted backstage at Thursday's NXT tapings in Winter Park, Florida. He was scheduled to meet with WWE officials about finalizing an agreement to come work for the company. Reports leaked out early this week that he was expected to begin with WWE in June. We can confirm, the report says, that a deal was not finalized prior to a scheduled meeting on Thursday. Whether or not a deal was completed today is unknown, but we can confirm he was there with Triple H and was scheduled to talk about a contract. So that is that. June, going to be a very interesting month for you Samoa Joe guys. Will he be coming on into NXT? Will it be WWE bound? It's going to be very interesting, man. And Samoa Joe is going to add an unbelievable presence to NXT, man. NXT is growing and growing and growing by the months, and NXT may be the #1 promotion sooner rather than later in WWE, man. We got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Neville is on the main roster now, Finn Balor, Tyler Breeze, Itami. Gonna be fucking awesome down there, man. It's definitely going to be something you guys are going to need to watch on a weekly basis, especially with their live events coming up. There's one coming up in May. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens was announced in a rematch for the NXT World title, man. But that is the update on Samoa Joe. June 2015 looks to be the month he will be debuting with the WWE. That is all I got for part 2, guys. Like I said, very, very scarce on news this weekend. Tomorrow, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I got a few other things. I might do an Extreme Rules preview, predictions, and what I think is going to happen at Extreme Rules. So look forward to that on Sunday. If you guys want more additional wrestling content, Joe Cronin Show, man. Go follow him on Twitter. Link is down below, and his YouTube page as well is linked down below if you guys want more additional wrestling content. Instead of what you see here on Off The Script, all right? Justin LaBar, Josh Eisenberg, and Brian Gulish, Chairshot Reality at WrestleZone.com. Their links are down below as well. If you guys want more LaBar, his social media links will be down below as well as his website, WrestleCrates.com. Please go and sign up to those guys. Go check them out, www.WrestleCrate.com, and at Twitter on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Go check those guys out. I got my Ultimate Crate coming next week. Hopefully, I will be doing an unboxing, so make sure you guys check that out. And the Extreme Rules Pick'em, man. WWE Extreme Rules Pick'em this weekend. Go check that out as well. You guys got a chance to win $400 cash. I'm going to be entering, and I'm certainly wanting you guys to join in the fun and put your knowledge to the test as well. If you guys are not following me on Twitter at JD from NY206, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back on Sunday with part 3 to close out your weekend right here on Off The Script, guys. Until then, take care, and I will talk to you all on Sunday morning. Thank you for watching.